Amigos televidentes, Luis Jiménez presenta, siempre trayendo informaciones a la comunidad que por otro medio no llegan. En esta ocasión hemos invitado al concejal Vallone Jr. para que esté con nosotros hablándonos de sus proyectos que él tiene para este año 2013 en la nueva carrera que se está lanzando como presidente del condado de Queens. Entonces, en uno de mis programas yo hablaba que los candidatos no habían salido todavía a llevarle a la comunidad informaciones y eso. Y agradezco mucho que el concejal Vallone del Distrito 22, aquí en Queens, que ustedes ya conocen, se está lanzando para presidente del condado de Queens. I want to thank you for accepting my invitation. This show, Luis Jimenez Presenta, airs in Spanish. I know that you knows a little bit of Spanish, so we're going to be trying to communicate a little bit. My English, you know, Spanish English, but your Spanish, so we're gonna combine. But like I said before to the audience, I really appreciate the time that you have today to come to my show and make the presentation to the audience in Queens that you are running for borough president, right? You've been, if I'm not mistaken, since 2002, you are a council member, and I know your father was also served the community for many, many years.
Yes, muchas gracias. First of all, un placer de estar aquí. Mi nombre es Pedro Fortunato Vallone Jr. Soy concejal, 2002. Soy candidato para presidente de condado de Queens. Soy el único candidato que tiene experiencia con negocios pequeños y con seguridad pública. Quisiera representar todas las personas de Queens. Ahora inglés, because it will go quicker.
Yeah, we'll go faster that way. Yeah.
But thank you very much for having me. I am running for borough president. I have been council member since 2002 and chair of the Public Safety Committee of the New York City Council. I've been working very closely with Ray Kelly to keep New York safe, to keep Queens residents safe. Crime is down 35% since Ray Kelly and I took over in 2002. Before I was elected, and after I graduated Fordham Law School, I was a prosecutor for 6 years.
Okay.
And so I have public safety experience, and that is such an important thing in Queens because our community, especially our immigrant communities who are the victims of so many crimes, need to be safe. I'm also the only small business person in the race. There are some nice people running, friends of mine. However, none of them have any public safety experience, and none of them have any small business experience. And especially our immigrant communities are all small businesses. And I know how much they are hurt by government right now. The fines on our restaurants, you know, the taxes, the enforcement, the maze of bureaucracies. Because I am a small business, I'm going to work very hard to make it easier for our small businesses. Spent my whole life in Queens.
I know that you work a lot on the graffiti, you know, the EVP also. And I was talking to Pablo about the program that you have for even students who are not legally residents. Can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Well, in 1997, my father, who was the Speaker of the City Council, he established a scholarship for college students, public college students here in the city, regardless of status. And he said to them, if you graduate with a B average and you maintain that B average, you will have your tuition cut in half. And many students used that scholarship to go to college. And then in 2 years ago, when I stood up for Queens and I objected to renaming the Queensboro Bridge after Ed Koch because it was named after Queens County, not only was my funding cut, but the Vallone scholarship was cut. So I don't think we need to wait for the state to do a DREAM Act. I mean, that would be nice. But we can right now restore the Peter Vallone scholarship, which gave all kids equally, regardless of status, tuition break if they maintain to be average.
Okay, great. One thing that you have, I see that you graduated magna cum laude and the Phi Beta Kappa. My
Yes.
son Emmanuel was one of those that also graduated. And
Which one is he? In the
this him here.
He's too young to be in college.
Well, he's not too young. He's already working for the Social Security
Wow.
back in Baltimore for the last 3 years.
You and I will be getting Social Security soon.
Hope. Yeah, we hope that, okay? Before, out of camera, I was asking you if you can tell us, describe your best political moment, your best personal moment, or, critics always there. Who is the best or the worst?
Well, my best political moment, that's tough. I learned public service from my father. 27 years he represented Queens. And he taught me my ethics, which is why you will never see me in the papers for abusing the trust of the public, ever. And so when I was honored enough to be elected council member in 2002, that was my biggest political moment. But I think my biggest political moment, my new one, will be when, if I'm honored enough to be elected borough president.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's great.
My personal moment would have to be my two daughters. I mean, the main thing I am in life is a dad. My daughters went to public school here in Queens, and now one is in St. Francis Prep, and the other is at Notre Dame. Okay. And they are just the best daughters anybody could ask for, and just any time I spend with them is the best time. In fact, when I leave here today, taking my little one to a late lunch.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Okay, you are running for borough president, and we made comment the other day about, actually, I know Pablo saw that in the internet, because my show, besides going through Fios Channel 37 and QPTV Channel 57, we also send that through the internet so many people
Nice.
can see it. And you are welcome to reproduce and send it to any. But what I can ask, we were asking, what can you do better than the other borough president? I noticed, and I complained to Pablo because I know Pablo for many years. Him and my son Emmanuel and Jennifer, my daughter, they were part of the Leo Club, which a group that my wife helped to organize and everything when she was the president of the Lions Club. But being running for borough president, which you feel like you will do better? And also between the Latino, Hispanic community, what do you see that the for now borough president and the prior one has not done to bring the community together, in this case Latino and other, because Queens is a very diverse community. It's not only Latino, we have Asian, we have so many different culture. What can you do better than the other borough president?
Well, first of all, I'm going to look at all the different borough presidents and take the best of what they do and bring it here to Queens.
Okay.
For example, Scott Stringer does a lot of policy, and my office will do policy, and we will look at how to rebuild the Rockaways. We will look at how to make sure every community is served. We were going to look at the Bronx and Ruben Diaz, who's a friend of mine, and he is still involved in City Hall. I will still be involved in City Hall. I will still be doing legislation to keep us safe. For example, I have a gun offender registry, which I passed, which if you commit a crime with a gun, you have to be on this registry for 5 years, where you have to go to the police precinct and tell them where you are. And Ruben and I want to make that statewide, but it's an example of how you can still be involved with the city council. Marty Markowitz is a big cheerleader, and I'm going to do that for Queens. I will be its #1 advocate. If they tried to rename the Brooklyn Bridge, Marty Markowitz will still be chained to the Brooklyn Bridge right now. So that's what I will do. Now, what I can do better than everyone else running is they all have public experience. We have all been in public office. but they bring nothing else to the table other than public service, which is nice. My father did it, I did it, but I also have public safety experience in keeping our immigrant community safe. I also have business experience. And when you said Queens is so diverse, but all of our immigrant communities, the Asian community, the Latino community, the Bengalis, they all own small stores.
Yeah.
They all came here to start a new life. And I want to give them the same opportunities that my grandfather had when he came here with $32 in his pocket. And my grandfather was able to start a business and have it prosper. Businesses today are being hammered by our government. They need a business person. Our immigrant communities need a business person as a borough president to fight for all of our small businesses. And another thing is just having an office that's there for the people. One of the things, just an example of what I've done for our immigrant community, there was a little boy named Omar Audi, and I think he was about 8 years old at the time, a few years ago. And he has a potentially fatal disease. He would just blow up and no one would know why. He had really bad pictures of him. And there was no cure. But his family had overstayed their visa and they were not here legally. So they tried a few different avenues and it didn't work. And then his school said, go to Councilman Vallone. He's good at these things. So they came to me, and I immediately got on the phone with immigration, with Homeland Security, actually, because it was a Homeland Security issue. And I went up the ladder until I went right to the top. And I said, and the person I spoke to knew me, which is nice, because I know a lot of people. And he said, what do you need? And I said, just take a look at this file, please. We're not asking. All I need is another 2 years. It was Christmas. They were going to be deported on Christmas Eve.
Oh.
And so I said, just give me another 2 years. So that we can, because there's no cure. The only treatment is here in America. He was going to be sent back, and there was no treatment there. So we got another 2 years, and then we extended that also because there's still no treatment. So that's the kind of service that I provided as a council member, and that my office as borough president will provide.
Correct. It's been through the assembly. They have approved what is called the fair elections. Can you tell us a little bit and how you feel about that? This meaning that controlling the money that politicians receive to do the campaign, and can you tell us a little bit about it?
A lot of people don't know that it was my father that wrote and put in the first Campaign Finance Act in New York City. So the act now in New York City that gives everybody a chance to run because you get matching funds 6-to-1 was put in by my father, and it's very difficult. The reason elected officials don't want to do that is because we can raise the money. People will give us money. It's much more difficult for, say, you to raise money to run against us. So now if you raise, $100 from 10 people, you get that match 6-to-1 from each of those people. So now you can run against an elected official who has money already. It's supposed to make it even. So it's a great law that my father passed and exists here in New York City. Now they're trying to do it statewide. I hope they do. I hope they do. And it gives the person who's not an elected official a chance to run for office against someone who is an elected official, and it's much easier for elected officials to raise money. So I support it. In fact, I've never even taken, I took it the first time, but not after that, public money to run, because I want the people running against me to have as much money as I do, so that it's even. So I didn't take taxpayer money the last few times I ran. So the idea is to level the playing field and be fair. There are some problems with it. It's gone out of hand here in New York City. We have to do it fairly, but I think New York State should do it too.
Okay. September 10th will be the primary.
Yes, sir.
Okay, for borough president, and all the other open seats are going to be there. And what can you tell the people from, to put attention to you, to your campaign, and on September 10th go out and vote? I know that is how many people running? 6 or 5?
7 right now.
7 right now. Okay. So I want you to tell the audience about yourself, about how they can go out, make sure that Peter Vallone is the one that is going to be on that ballot on September 10th, and let's say sometimes people want to volunteer.
That's great.
And I hope that every candidate say, okay, yes, I need volunteer to come on board.
Queens is huge,
Okay.
2.2 million people. And you know, I represent Astoria, which is all the way in the north, and just to come here, which is not that far, Corona is a half hour. To get to the Rockaways
because of the
it's
traffic.
over an hour. It's a big, big borough, so we all need volunteers. You can find me at petervallone.com. I have a Facebook page with over 8,000 followers. Please follow that, and it'll tell you when the next events are coming up, so you can come to my events
and
volunteer, or just come and meet me.
You feel that you're going to be on the ballot?
Well,
actually,
I will be on the ballot. The ballot is the ballot. You just need to get signatures, and that's going to be a piece of cake for my campaign. My campaign is going very, very well. Right, there was only one poll that has been done so far. It's an independent poll, and it shows me 11% up on everybody else. Fundraising-wise, that shows you how much support you have. I have more money raised than every other candidate put together. Yesterday, we've been doing borough president forums every week, 2, 3 a week, and we had a big one yesterday at St. John's College, which was moderated by New York One. And they did a snap poll at the end of the debate, who has the best chance of being borough president, and I won the snap poll. And then they did a second snap poll, who did the best in the debate to convince you to vote for them, and I won that snap poll too.
Great.
So everything is going very well right now, but we do need volunteers. We need people to get out and vote. You know, you just can't say, "Oh, he's going to win." I don't need to go out and vote. Everybody needs to get out and vote, and I hope they vote for me. But just even if you're not going to get out, vote for me. Get out and vote. Get out and vote. So,
go and vote. That's what I tell the audience all the time. Get out and vote, because when you don't go there, you're giving a vote to probably someone that you don't want.
But know the issues first. Know the issues first. I don't want people going out and vote, have no idea what they're voting for. Go vote. Learn about the candidates, and then vote. We want educated voters. We don't want people voting because they like the color of my hair or something.
Can you repeat the webpage where people can go, and we're gonna put it on the screen so people can go and check who Peter Vallone Jr. and you know.
There's no junior in the webpage because we couldn't get it. So I don't know why. Someone took it. So it's just petervallone.com. And the Facebook page is Peter Vallone. There's a Twitter handle at PFVJR. And we have Pablo Romano, who you've mentioned a few times, who's working with my campaign and doing outreach to many different communities, especially the Latino community. And he will be more than happy to hear from you. That's what
Great. It's nice for me to have you in my show, and I know that a few times we've been in the Lions Club, Corona Lions Club dinner. Even seen your father there, and it's something that, you know, right now, Paul. So you know, I cannot say vote for you or anything, but like you say, I said to the audience, know your candidate, check what they have done, and then make your own mind and, you know, decision actually, right?
And don't just listen to what they say. You are doing a great service by bringing us to the people. But we can say anything here. Google it. Check on it. Okay? They can say I can say anything I want. Just check on our records. You know who's been out there. You know that when the snowstorm hit, I was the one out there saying, "Where are the plows?" When the Con Ed was a blackout here in northwestern Queens, I was the one out there taking Con Ed. When they tried to take our bridge, only one person stood up for Queens County, and it was me. So anybody can sit here in this seat and say anything they want, but remember, use your own common sense and Google everything everybody says.
Okay, great, Mr. Vallone. Thank you very much, and please, no cambie de canal porque Luis Jimenez todavía le trae mucho más.